Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. 2 days to Halloween, 2 more days. Yeah, 2 days. I always forget, do you count the day you're actually in at the moment? It's Wednesday now, Wednesday. So we've still got Thursday and then Friday is Halloween. So you count today and tomorrow and then, yeah, I think we're there. I think we've arrived at the right conclusion. Anyway, it's the end of the week. So, hope you're all doing very well and enjoying the vibe of Halloween. And you're now in the company of, well, wolves and wolfmen and indeed a Kilt-Man. And here we are, one of my perennial favourites, the Douglas. There you go, the Douglas tartan. One of the first 2 kilts I ever got. I got this and I got the Wallace tartan. Way back, 2014-15, when I first adopted the kilt. I've never looked back since. Don't look back, because there's people taking pictures of you with the wind blowing up your kilt, you know, blowing up your jacksie. So, anyway, what have we got for you today? It would have been a double mystery unboxing. It would have been, except for one thing. The shipping address label thing on the first package. The 2 arrived together, both courtesy of ASTRADYNE, your friend of mine. ASTRADYNE, a traveller in time. Sir Astra of the Dyne, if you will. And he kind of warned me, there's 2 things coming, probably starting next week, which would be the week we're in right now. And he arrived on Monday. And he said, and he gave loads of like werewolfy hints, very lycanthropic sort of codes. So I was like, okay, right, I know where we are with this. We're on the moors, there's a full moon, it'll be American Werewolf, it'll be the Howling, it'll be this, it'll be that. And well, straight away I knew that one of them was the Company of Wolves, because the fucking label, it said, had to Master Kilt-Man, Lord of Kilt Manor, you know, and all this, you know, the Celtic realm, had all that there. And then on the side, it actually had written the Company of Wolves vinyl. So it's like, right, so no mystery there then, hey? And here it is. I'm not sure if I stuttered there or if I got like a bit of an Irish lilt. Don't know. Here it is. The vinyl for Company of Wolves, the soundtrack by George Fenton. George Fenton, award winner for Gandhi. There are loads of TV shows as well. And it's a wonderful score. I have reviewed this movie in depth a good couple of years ago, I think. Really in depth, about 2 hours long, something like that, longer than the bloody movie. Because I love this movie. It came out in 1984, and based on Angela Carter's books and stories about women and women's things, women's problems, menstrual cycles, and women and their relationships with men, big fat hairy men, you know, and how it can sometimes go awry. But of course, taken literally, you know, it's what women go through. But metaphorically, it's werewolves, because we're all predators, us menfolk. And the film, directed by Neil Jordan, and I think co-written by Angela Carter herself, is a wonderful smorgasbord of surrealism, some great, some not so great special effects, but lots of transformations and fairy stories, just given the lycanthropic sort of skewed slant. And you've got the likes of Brian Glover in there. Brian Glover, yes. And Chuck Out the Mexican. David Warner. Angela Lansbury. Who else is in there? Terence Stamp playing the devil in a big limousine in the woods, you know. And who else have you got? Sarah Patterson, who plays our young girl who's having these nightmares. She's on the cusp of becoming, you know, from a little girl to an adolescent. She's up on the cusp of womanhood. That's what it's all about. So all these dreams that she has, and dreams within dreams, it's what she's going through, and the transition from a younger girl to, you know, a woman. And, you know, it's a beautiful movie. It's haunting. It's not, I wouldn't say it's scary, it's eerie in places, but because she meets the huntsman in a parable for Little Red Riding Hood. And Angela Lansbury plays the grandmother, you know, lives in a cottage in the woods, you know, and lift up the latch and walk in. But our girl, Rosaline, has met the huntsman, and I forgot who plays the huntsman, I forgot his name now, but I think he was Hungarian or certainly Eastern European, and he's like a dancer and a model, dead long hair, and like when I was a kid, I thought I want to look like him. His eyebrows met in the middle because he's one of them, obviously, as all the men are in this bloody film, and he strips off and all that, and he's got a fantastic physique on him. And I thought when I was a kid, I want to look like that when I'm older. Well, I've got the hair. The rest of it, mind you, I can dance though, but and I do howl at the moon, and I get very, very hungry at certain times for raw meat. And he's met her in the woods, and he's clearly a sinister bastard, you know. And all of the movie, all the stories, the grandmother's been warning Rosaline about, you know, what's out there. Don't trust a man whose eyebrows meet in the middle and all this kind of crap, like. And don't trust men at all. Simple as that. Easiest way. And then you get the actual genuine Little Red Riding Hood story, and he challenges her. I'll get to Granny's house before you do. And she goes, you don't know the woods. He goes, that doesn't matter, because I've got this. And he flicks out a compass, you know. And he said, see this? That little needle there points north. So, and this is what he says. He goes, so I always know exactly, precisely where I am. No, you don't. The compass doesn't tell you exactly where you are. You need to use that in conjunction with a fucking map and that sort of thing, you know. Then you know where you are. But of course, he's got a wolfy, lycanthropic instincts and all that. So he does get to the cottage before she does. And of course, Angela Lansbury's great as Granny. And she knows straight away. She thinks it's a granddaughter coming through, but this fucker comes in, like, and it's all like ravenous now, like, and she's like, she knows straight away what he is. Get you back from whence you came. Get you back from whence you came. Devil dog and all, whatever she calls him, like. And he goes, fucking smacks her head right off her shoulders. And in one of those glorious little surreal touches, which also stopped the movie getting banned and becoming like a big X certificate. Was it in 18? I have the glorious canvas sent by another one of our great channel benefactors and contributors, Steve W7 Smith, sent this. I can't remember if it was a double A or is it an X. There's a little bit of nudity in it. There's a little bit of gore. I can't remember now. I genuinely can't remember. But probably an 18. And so a head comes off, but a head turns into porcelain, a big china porcelain, you know, head, which hits the fireplace and shatters into a million pieces. And it's a really terrifically bravura yet mysterious and lyrical kind of moment. The most lyrical death I think I've ever seen, apart from, you know, Willem Dafoe as Sergeant Elias, with Adagio for strings playing behind him, and them squibs not going off in Platoon, not going off. It makes it look even more horrible. He's like having death spasms when it should be exploding with blood all over the place. Little tangent there. But and then obviously Rosaline gets there, and he's sitting in the rocking chair, and in his big billowing gothic white shirt, which I have, and he's sitting there, and it's just it's spellbinding. And of course, it should be a seduction scene, but she realizes what he is, and it's a whole, you know, my, what big teeth you've got and all this kind of crap, like, my, what long hair you've got, my, what a short kilt you're wearing, you know. Well, all the better to frighten the ladies with, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, another tangent there. Cheers, y'all. And she shoots him with Granny's shotgun, shoots him in the shoulder, and he writhes around in agony, and then goes through a big transformation into a wolf. And then she feels sorry for him, and then she goes, I'll tell you a tale. I'll tell you a tale of a wounded wolf. And it's a beautiful, really, really, it's playing the music to it now. The Wolf Girl, who plays, is played by Danielle Dax, who was a British rock musician, album producer, and I think a model as well. And with a big fright wig on and big bushy eyebrows. She plays a nude wolf girl who comes up from the world below to the world above. And she goes to a church because she's just inquisitive. But some nosy neighbour puts a rifle barrel out the window, shoots her, wounds her, and the priest tries to take her in, but then, you know, and tends her wounds. But then she goes back from the world above to the world below. And that's all I'll tell you, because that's all I know. She tells him this tale, but of course, the broader story is that there is a wolf, attacking people from the village. And Brian Glover and David Warren and everybody, all the villagers, like from the slaughtered lamb, have legged it through the woods, and they're all there, and it's like they start pumping fucking buckshot into the cottage, and the wolves, now 2 of them escape into the woods. 2 of them, she's given herself over. And here's perfectly George Fenton's score now plays Liberation, which is the 2 of them legging into the woods. She's given herself to the huntsman. She's become one of them. Yeah, of course, in real terms, you know, she's given herself away for a bit of ooh la la. Only she hasn't, because she's still a young girl having dreams in her teenage bed. So it's just menstruality. Is that actually a word, menstruality? Anyway. So it's all about sex, it's all about coming of age. But it's a wonderfully potent fairy tale dreamscape story with fabulous Neil Jordan-esque touches, flourishes, and regular star Chris Rea. Stephen Rea. Can you imagine Chris Rea in The Company of Wolves? Driving home for Christmas. I got werewolves in front of me. I take a look at the driver next to me. He's just the same. Hairy, hungry. Chris Rea. He'd be great, actually. Cheers, y'all. Cheers, ASTRADYNE. So you're hearing said score right now. This is what ASTRADYNE sent to me, and this is a new version of the score. Lovely vinyl, lovely sleeve, lovely pictures on the back there. There's the huntsman becoming the werewolf. I think you've got Daniel Dax there, somewhere there, nudie nudes with a big fright wig on, playing the wolf girl. Angela Lansbury is there, knitting, as usual. And there's, you know, she only got 14, 15 years old, Sarah Patterson. And she played alongside a huge pack of genuine wolves and a couple of German shepherds, I think, were thrown in there. But a lot of real wolves are in there too. And, well, you're hearing the score right now. This version, I think, is about two, maybe 3 years old, I think. I haven't done my homework on this. It's been released a few times on vinyl. I know, because... Oh, no, I'm not going to play that bit just yet. Because I love that sequence. Because back in the day, folks, back in the day, I did buy it on vinyl. Actually, I do apologise. Well, I do actually have this on vinyl already. And this is the original one. The ring lights going, woo, 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 Close Encounters, Searchlight. The film came out in 1984. The soundtrack, I think, was released the year after, or certainly a good few months afterwards. And I got it right away from That's Entertainment Records, I think it is. Yeah, That's Entertainment Records. The famous poster image of the wolf coming out. That's meant to be Stephen Rea. Is it Rea or Ray? How do I pronounce it? It's Chris Rea. Is it Stephen Rea? I don't know. And the wolf comes out. Chris Tucker did the effects, and they're not... Some are great, some are not so great. The actual animatronics, they're not as polished as the likes of Rick Baker would do, or Rob Bottin in that sort of era. And in fact, Rob Bottin and Rick Baker did far better than him several years before with the likes of The Howling and obviously The Thing and American Werewolf. So, but it is what it is. And it's unusual to see like the human mouth gape wide and the wolf snout come out. It's not massively effectively well done. However, some of the effects are great. Severed hands, severed wolf paw that becomes a human hand, a head that falls into a bucket of milk, a pail of milk. You don't put milk in a bucket, do you? A pail of milk, and the wolf head goes in, and as it sloshes around in slow motion, it becomes Stephen Rea's head. I'm sure it's pronounced Ray now. The more I've laboured the points about this, the more I think it's pronounced Ray. Anyway. So it comes up as a human head with all blood in the milk and all that, like. And you get other transformations. The sequence with the what's it called, the wedding party. Another story, another dream within a dream, a tale that's told within the central dream of a big luscious sort of banquet on the lawn. All the hoi polloi sort of Edwardian. Is it Edwardian? No, it's actually the generation before that, isn't it? They've all got like makeup on and beauty spots and all that, and big frock gowns, and not just the men. And it's a big sort of marquee, big dinner there, and the bride and the groom are there, but their celebration. But this peasant girl with long rebellious red hair comes up there, strides purposely across the lawn, and crashes the party. And of course she's heavily pregnant, and obviously this guy who's just had his wedding day, giving his vows to this girl here, yeah, but don't forget about me, you had your way with me, didn't you? And in a great sort of curse, almost like a gypsy curse, everybody there turns into wolves. And they're real wolves, going on a rampage with like dinner plates and all them, them big trays where you lift the thing up and it's like, whoa, a horse's head, There's just tons of stuff underneath, the big sort of silver platter thing, and they're all wearing the frocks, these wolves, and they're having a sensational time. But a great touch, if you watch it and watch it closely, watch Clark, and watch him closely, you hear we. If you look at the butlers and the servants who are all in their finery and their wigs as well, like they're trying not to laugh as these wolves are leaping about from table to table, knocking mirrors over, knocking champagne and wine bottles all over the place. It's sensational. They're trying not to smirk. I think they're also a bit on the side of shitting themselves as well, because you've got a whole pack of wolves in there who are having a party, So it's a great, and I think the curse ends with, it's like, yeah, when I give birth, you lot as wolves now are going to come and serenade my newborn every night and sing him to sleep with your howling and all that. Something like that. Can't quite remember now. I need to watch the film again. But the score is wonderful. You've got solo flutes, you've got panpipes, you've got oboe, and lots of woodwind, and the strings, of course. As you can hear right now, it's all sort of very 16th, very early 17th century sort of medieval style. All folk ditties, folk ditties, and sort of Baroque, Gothic, also Renaissance. And Fenton captures this brilliantly, but he also uses a synclavier synthesizer as well, which you get like lots of like sort of broad sort of bass lines and throbbing sort of menacing pulses and that, and it's a wonderful score, very esoteric. It covers a lot of different ground, and I think it's phenomenal. But what I didn't play, I started to play before, I'm going to play it now, is the main theme, which has a little monologue, which is truly, I think it's wonderfully well done.
Little girls, this seems to say, never stop upon your way, never trust a stranger friend, no one knows how it will end. As you're pretty, so be wise, wolves may lurk in every guise. Now, as then, 'tis simple truth, sweetest tongue has sharpest tooth.
It's gorgeous, and never a truer verse was uttered, and I don't want to get political right now, I'm not going to do that, but women have always been in jeopardy, always, and it seems to me that right now they're in incredibly more jeopardy than ever before. Most of you know what I'm alluding to right now, and it's happening every day. I have a wife, I have a daughter, I have female friends. I worry all the time. And I'm an angry person, I'm one of them, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You touch mine, I'll hunt you down like a fucking werewolf. I will hunt you down and I will tear you limb from limb. Simple as that. I don't care about laws, I don't care about any of that. So when you watch this film, there's a very serious moment there, a little serious interlude there. Come on, throw your hand. It was like that. It was like gearing up. It's a wonderfully prescient, timeless sort of warning. It's very fairy tale. It's, you know, oh, it's just werewolves, you know, yeah. No, it's men. Anyway. So I already have the score on vinyl. I also already have it on CD. There's a CD cover there. Well, you're listening to the CD which I've put on the hard drive. I've got a feeling this was, I've not listened to it yet on the our ancient, archaic Ferguson mono, but wall of sound, you know, record player, record deck, which you've seen. I've done loads of videos showing that. There wasn't a chance to have brought it out to play that on it right now, mainly because the staff, in their infinite lack of wisdom, have mopped all the floors of the downstairs of the Kilt mansion. It's a fucking death trap. I didn't want to be walking out carrying the big ancient and now quite rare record player and carry that out, put it on here. I got flying, and the weight of that thing, it would have crushed me ribs. So no, we're listening to it now on the ease of just, you know, it's on the hard drive. Wonderful film, wonderful score. I will put the links below to my review of Company Wolves. I do go in depth, and I remember everyone's name, including the huntsman's name. I do talk about him at length in the video, and I go through all the themes and all that, which I hold very dear, very precious. The film moved me as a kid, and you make no bones about it. When I was a kid, when this came out, I would have been the same age as Sarah Patterson, and boy did I fancy her. You know, got a massive crush on her. And she didn't carry on acting. I'm not sure what she does now. I may have said in the previous video, but right now I can't tell you what she's done, what she's doing. But I hope she's doing all right. Cheers, your same age as me. She'll be now, with a pack of wolves around her. Like, she probably went into animal conservation, joined the RSPCA or something like that. You know. So the great thing about having this again on vinyl, right? There's the one ASTRADYNE sent. Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. That's the one I'm going to play. This one, and what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to turn it around like that, because I love, you know, the imagery in the back and the blare, and I'm going to put that on the wall, because the great thing about vinyl, as you guys will know and appreciate, your vinyl, your sleeves are works of art. They are. All your albums, you have people that design, you know, brain bash and come up with all these different ideas, and they bring in a fantastic artist to do the covers for albums. So they're works of art. And of course, if you get the original ones, they're even more exotic. So, and then you get the new version that comes out, because everything's vinyl these days, and you can put the old one on the wall, and it's an art piece of art on your wall. And you know me, and the likes of C007 Smith, our respective houses are just bedecked with nothing but movie art canvases and posters. But album covers work just as well. And the likes of this, you've got like an interview with George Fenton and all that, and you know, with a bit of blairbage, it's great. But ASTRADYNE didn't just send that, did he? He sent something else, and this is a mystery. I do not know what this is. So after all that lengthy intro, and I've just knocked the whiskey over. Oh. See, slippy floor. It's all been. If I get up from this, I could go arse over tit. So I think I'll stay seated then. Cheers, y'all. Now this, I presume, is another piece of werewolfery, because the clues were both were kind of, you know, Wolfman type things. Now this again could be an album, could be vinyl. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think so. But so let's have a little look, shall we? Let's go on to. I mean, it could be Company Wolves again. Oh. Well, that didn't work. I thought that was one of those things where, you know, there's a little piece where a little hook and it's perforated, so you just go like that. It didn't do that. It's not perforated at all. So I'll have to like... Oh, it is. It is perforated, but further down. Oh, right, okay. Okay, that's not... It's not vinyl. It looks like it's artwork, folks. It's artwork. I don't know if that's upside down. I can't quite tell. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys first. Hopefully this comes out the right way around. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I do know. It's... Oh. Sorry, there's a certificate of authenticity on the back of it. It's the Wolfman. Sorry, I should be showing you, shouldn't I? It's the Wolfman. And if that's the original Wolfman, of course. 1941, directed by George Wagner, with Claude Rains as John Talbot, the senior Talbot of the Talbot estate, and his prodigal son returns home, played of course by Lon Chaney Jr., who's about 18 fucking feet tall and three tons of him. And like little Claude Rains is meant to be his dad. Really? Evelyn Ankers plays the love interest. You've got Bela Lugosi as the original werewolf in the Gypsy encampment, who puts the bite on our Lonster, who bakes in the Wolfman. You know all this, don't you? But this is a... Oh, look at this. See if you can have the ring light being annoying. There's the wolf-headed cane. And you guys know I've got that. I've got a perfect replica of that wolf-headed cane. Courtesy of Steve Smith, again, sent that to me. And I do go out sporting the cane. You know, you pretend to limp, obviously, you know. But really, it's a fucking weapon. It's a weapon. What's this here? I can't quite tell what this is. Oh, it's the Wolfman, Larry Talbot, and his dad battling on the moors in the mist. Is that his dad again? Let's have a look. Yep, that's his dad yet again. And there's the Wolfman, looking rather more ferocious than he does in the actual movie itself. But he's got the 1920s work shirt on. Yeah. There's Talbot Mansion, Talbot Estate. What else have we got? What have we got down here? Oh, right. That's in the Gypsy encampments. They have obviously there's like a fair there. And you know you got the little BB guns and all that, and the pop-up targets. And Larry's doing really well. He's shooting everything, and then suddenly a wolf pops up, and it's that's the target, and obviously that's the bullseye there, the wolf's eye, and he can't do it. He's like, and he puts the gun down, and he has to run off because he can't bring himself to shoot what he really is. And what else we got here? Maliva, the gypsy woman, played by the wonderful Maria Uspenskaya. That's a great name, isn't it? I love saying it as well. Maria Uspenskaya. You know, that's great in pubs. You know, if you go and wear a Wolfman t-shirt, or I end up talking about the Wolfman, whatever. And I talk about it a lot, to be honest. And people who go there's some gypsies, isn't it? It's all gypsies. It's always down to gypsies, isn't it? You know, bloody travelling people. Can you say that now? Can you call them gypsies now? Or do they have their own? Will they be offended by that? You have the right to be offended by anything I say, but I retain the right not to give a shit. So, gypsies, gyppos, and he always go yeah, she's got a strange name, and I go, well, her name in the film is Maliva, Maliva, but her real name is Madame Uspenskaya, Maria Uspenskaya, and they're like, don't be stupid. And I say it again for impact, Uspenskaya. Just give him 2 more whiskies and shut him the fuck up, So that's there, and you've got the grave of, I presume that grave there is going to be Jenny Williams, who's Evelyn Ankers' mate, because when Larry comes back to, we're still playing this. We've got the soundtrack to the Wolfman. I'm sure it's on this. Well, I guess we're going to find out in a minute, aren't we? Yeah. universal fanfare. Oh wait, the sun's coming out again now. How to ruin a good werewolf debate. We want full moons, not fucking blazing sunshine. Damn you! I blame Three-Eye Atlas for that. Anyway, yeah, Jenny, who's Evelyn Anker's mate, because bully boy Larry Talbot's come back home, all Bruce, with his, you know, his silver-headed cane and all that. Like, well, he gets it off Evelyn Anker's, to be honest, and he bullies her into going out with him that night. She's engaged to some other guy, and when you think about it, it's like, how fucking rude is that? Like, you know, I can't go out with you, but she does go out with him. So he, I'll be here at 8. He goes, I won't be around. You know, I'll be here. I'll pick you up at 8. And he walks off all fucking cocky. He's already spied on it from his father's telescope, because he's an engineer, and he's come back home and like, oh, you'll be innumerable service to the estate, what with your skills you've learnt while you've been away in America. Because don't forget, this is fairy tale Wales. Fairy tale Wales. And he's come back, the prodigal son, after his brother, who's the eldest son, has died in a hunting accident. So he's come back home like, sorry father for leaving and all that, like, but I'm back now, says Lon Shady, and you'll be fantastic help around the place. Oh, delivery, sir. We think it's the parts for the telescope. Say these really helpful, really, you know, really cheerful butlers and servants. Say, it could be the parts for the telescope, sir. Yeah. Oh, wonderful, Larry, you'll love this. In fact, you can fucking fit it because you're an engineer. So I was like, oh, I just got here, Dad. You know, Jesus, can I have something to eat first? So he gets fucking lashed into fixing this big telescope, and you know, and Claude Rains is there like, that's wonderful work, that. Where'd you learn how to do such precision engineering? Optical company in California. We did a fantastic job on that observatory in whatever. So he's a fucking celestial tool expert as well. But he pervs on Gwen, you know, Gwen Taylor, who's Evelyn Anker's. He pervs on her in her bedroom, putting her earrings on, these lovely diamond earrings, and he's dirty bastard. And what we talking about with company wolves? Men are wolves in disguise. They are predators. By the way, wolves in real life don't act like that. Wolves are very, very they're emotional creatures. They look after their family. They mate and they stay with a mate, you know, and they have a familial society. They don't go out fucking, you know, raping and shagging like dogs do. They don't do all that crap. So he bullies her into going out with him. So she takes Jenny out, and of course they go to see the gypsy fortune teller, played by Bela Lugosi, who's wonderful in this. Your palm, please. Your right hand tells your past. Your left hand tells your future. I've got that the wrong way around, but who cares? And he sees the pentagram in the palm of a hand. Go now! Go quickly! Run far! Run fast! Run now! He's all like this. Where was me? She's like, yes, I will run. This is Jenny, Gwen's mate. Is it Gwen? Is it fucking Gwen? I can't remember. Anyway, so she runs out, and like he transforms into a dog-like werewolf. I know, I've gone about this so many times, and you all know this, but he turns into like a big German Shepherd, basically. A German Shepherd that became Lon Chaney's busy mate on set at Universal and became his own dog for a good spell of time. And that dog then goes and attacks Jenny, rips her throat out. But of course, the Lonster, with his fantastic walking stick, silver-headed, wolf-headed cane, which he bought from Gwen Conliff's antique shop. Not Gwen, they called it Gwen Taylor before. Gwen Taylor was an actress in the long-running ITV comedy sitcom Duty Free. I don't know why that stuck in my head, but anyway, Lonster runs off with the cane, and he has a fight with this werewolf, Bella. Bang, bang, bang. But he puts a bite on him like, argh. But he kills it. And of course, when they discover the body, you know, they find him. And he's obviously ripped up and all that. But it was a wolf or something. It's a wolf. No, the body there. It's He's called Bella in the movie. It's Bella, you know, the gypsy fortune teller. He goes, no, I didn't kill him. I killed a wolf. It was a wolf, I tell you. Oh, why would nobody believe me? And of course, he's going to become a wolf man now. He's been bitten by a werewolf. He's going to become a werewolf. And he does. And he then changes. He goes home, all upset and all that, like, after the ping at the shooting range. And he goes home and he strips off and all that to his white vest, his wife beater, as they call them, and takes his shoes and socks off. He's looking at his hands and they're getting hairy, his feet are getting hairy. And then he gets changed. He becomes a wolfman and then gets changed. He puts a different shirt on. He puts the iconic green 1920s work shirt. Puts that on. How does he do that with fucking claws? And how does he know to do that? Every time he transforms, no matter, because he's in a load of movies. He'd then be in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, which I truly adore, which is the first sequel. It's a proper sequel to The Wolfman. It's not a good Frankenstein's monster movie at all, but it's a great werewolf movie, Wolfman movie. Then he's in House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, and he's in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, playing the Wolfman every time, because it's his baby, as Lon Chaney always said. And his dad, Lon Chaney Sr., was the man of 1,000 faces, played an absolute, you know, a rogues gallery of villains, and did his own makeup. Lon inevitably followed in his father's footsteps, but wanted to not be overshadowed by his father, but he always was, in a way. But he was a damn fine actor when he had the right material. He was very emotional, but he was a bit, where's that gone? He's a bit too much in love with the likes of this stuff. So we got bevied a lot, you know, behind the scenes, and you know, and it was known about. Plus, he was kind of, if he loved you, you'd get on like a house on fire. If he didn't like you, then oops a daisy. And he did not get on with Eagle and Anchors, his female co-star, the one he's meant to fall in love with. So when he goes for her at the end, and you see, because they'd had words, they'd had moments on set and behind the scenes where they were not getting along at all. And he goes for it, he's like fucking flinging her around like a rag doll. She's like, and like, you can tell like George Wagner's going like, I should shout cut right now, but I'm loving this too much. He's really going for it. And she's like, flinging around, smashing her head off trees, jumping up and down. Fucking hate you. Yeah. And you ruined my stash of whiskey, you bitch. And but yeah, so whenever he changes, and in all his movies, no matter what he's wearing to begin with, he puts on the same Wolfman costume. So he must be fairy claws and paws, like trying to do his buttons. And it's always tightly buttoned up as well, like the cuffs are done. I'm like, what the? Why? I don't get why they did that. But the transformation in this movie, the first movie, is terrific. It's hands and it's feet. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Only at the end do you see his face as the werewolf, but it's when he reverts back when his dad's killed him with the silver-headed wolf cane. His dad's throttled him like and bashed his skull in, and the Wolfman becomes Larry Talbot again. So it's a reverse of the transformation, and you see that in the lap dissolve and all that. But Jack P. Pierce, who was the makeup supremo throughout several decades of Universal's horror tenure, he fashioned great big wolf booties to put on his feet, and these are fucking great. They literally are boots, but they're on there, they're wolfy toes like that, and they've got a big a heel and all fairy clawed and paws basically. But you get the dog leg, a wolf and a dog's dog leg, turned like that. So you got that. So he's walking almost like you get like nowadays. They walk on not stilts, but laced blades. You call them blades, don't they? Benicio del Toro, who I think is here. He's here. He's there. I don't know if you can see him with the strong light right now, but he's right there right now. Rick Baker makeup designed for the Steve Johnson 2010 remake of the Wolfman, which is sensational. it's not a good film, but it's a sensational movie because it's so fucking exciting and full of wolfy action and great transformations and really fucking gore effects. And he looks incredible. And he's actually on those blades, so he is about 8, maybe 9 feet tall, looking on 2 legs as well, like looking amazing. But those boots, those big fairy boots, I fucking love them, you know. If anyone can find them boots, I know if you go on Amazon, you can find big wolf paws, werewolf paws, and werewolf feet. They're just like slippers with like little silly claws on the end of them. Nah, stupid. But I'd love a pair of Lonsters, his fairy Wolfman boots. I mean, them with a kilt, they'd be fucking... I'd actually be a bit taller, to the short horse that I am. And I'd be like strutting around, going into the pub. People going like, Kilty, something wrong with your feet, man. You know, you want to get that look now. That's a bit of fungus growing there. What are you, some kind of fucking mutant hobbit? You know, I fucking love them. They'd be great. And you see him going for the fabulous Universal mist enshrouded set, and it's Lon Chaney Jr. He's very top heavy. He wasn't a slim man at all, but he wasn't like muscle bound either. But he was, you know, a bit of a hulking brute. And to see him walking daintily on the tips of his toesies through the fog, it's great. And the thing is, that fog, it's a ground mist. They could have got away with it because you wouldn't have seen what he's wearing. He could have been wearing fucking Crocs, for all I know. Slippers, you know, he could have been doing anything, like, could have been barefoot. His big Christmas socks on, like, you wouldn't have known. But those boots, those fairy Wolfman boots are fucking stellar. I would kill for them. And I've got the, I didn't put the mask out, did I? Oh well. Because I've got a great mask of Lon Chaney's Wolfman. Oh, of course you know, you've seen it a million times, did videos on it. And of course I've modified mine to look more like it looks in the movie. Because Jack Pugh Pearce, yak hair. Of course, the old stalwart of movie hairy monsters, yak hair, painstakingly stitched into the mask and stuck on, adhered on with like oh god, rubber, gum, glue, whatever you fucking call it, I can't remember now. I didn't take the top off it. Could have lost my teeth there. Thanks for the warning. Where's it going with that? Yeah, and then to make the hair more matted, I wish the mask was here now. It's elsewhere in the house right now. He used like hair tongs to singe the yak hair that he put in to make it more sort of burnished and a bit crispier, and it gave it like a sort of like a almost like a sort of wavy afro sort of thing effect going on. It's a lot bushier than a lot of people think, but it looks great. The mask I modified looks super. What's going on over here? What's happening here? Oh, Jesus. Being overtaken by the lights again? Don't go into the light, Kilt-Man. Don't go into the light. It's not your time yet. Let's look at this again. Oh, let's see if this might say who the artist is. It's by it says Fanatic. Limited edition collectibles. Certificate of authenticity. Fanatic is an award-winning gift company specialising in creating artwork and collectibles for fans all over the world. We hope this officially licensed artwork will make you smile and bring an extra element of fun to your walls. Made in the UK. It's number 222 out of 995. But does it say who the artist is? Oh, do you know what? It should say, shouldn't it? It probably does if you take it out of the cellophane baggie. So you've got this sort of well, you can't say it's a pentagram because it isn't, but it's sort of like almost like an amulet. And of course, he does get given an amulet to you know, this will keep you safe. Yeah, right. That doesn't really work. And you've got there's little bits. The cycle of the moon. Yeah, the cycle of the moon is down here. You've got some obviously script from the film opens with a book on lycanthropy being taken out of a shelf, and it tells you what lycanthropy means, and I think that's script from that. Then you got the logo of the Wolfman there. But you've got him, our boy, looking really ferocious and like he's looking nastier than he does in the movie. To be perfectly honest, in the movie he never looks that savage or ferocious. But he became, after watching that movie back when I was a kid on the BBC Two, Hammer and Universal and horror movie double bills. It used to be on like a Friday or a Saturday night, I can't remember which now. And watching this blew me away. I thought that's the scariest thing I've ever seen. And he's also like, I want to be one. Where'd that come from? You know, but I didn't want to kill him. I wanted to be him. You know, I wanted to be a werewolf. How cool would that be? That's what my little head was thinking. You know, ooh. My little head. Don't make your own jokes up there. My little head wasn't thinking too much at all back in those days. I was too young for that. Afterwards, it did more thinking than this head did. But yeah, it's very autumnal. You've got like trees with very sparse foliage upon them. That's wonderful, and it's got that green cast as well, which a lot of the Universal stuff for, particularly the Wolfman, is very green. It's greeny green. Look at this. I'm getting surrounded by the lights. They're zapping me out of existence. But ASTRADYNE, that's wonderful, mate. I do love it, and that will go up on the wall. I've got to find space for these things now. Don't worry, there's tons of space. And the beauty of these things is all of these canvases, they're so lightweight, just on plywood. So lightweight. One tack for the portrait style, 2 tacks for a landscape one, and you just take them off, put another one. So you're constantly redecorating, you know, your premises, because you're just changing around the posters with different colours, different styles, and different movies, which give you a different vibe when you're walking down the hall or, you know, in a particular room. And suddenly you've gone from like, I don't know, Close Encounters to the New York Ripper. It gives a different aspect on things, you know. But that's great. So the Wolfman and Company of Wolves. Now, that's brilliant because, you know, Wolfie is my favourite monster of all time. He can be terrifying. He can be sympathetic. And there's enough scope within the lycanthropic movie lore. Don't forget, this film brought out Full Moon and Silver. They were not, the Werewolf Legend never had the Full Moon or Silver involved in it whatsoever. Nor even, for that matter, being bitten by a werewolf will turn you into, if you survive the attack, will make you become a werewolf. It was always a curse, or it was just afflicted people. They were demon spirits inside. And also, you know, depending on what culture you're from, like Native American, Native Aboriginal, Native African, you had the ability to shape change, to become a beast. Of course, obviously in Africa, you became like a were lion, a were panther, a were tiger, you know. In Australia, you became a were croc, you know. Don't mistake that. Don't go out wearing Crocs. They're the worst thing ever devised. I would far rather wear those big fairy booties than ever be seen in a pair of Crocs. So, but yeah, so the Wolfman legend and shape changing into a beast it's global. Every culture's got this idea, whether you want to call it superstition or what, or, you know, whether it's true. I don't know. Some of the most bizarre things. If you want to be a werewolf, you need to drink rainwater out of a wolf's paw prints in the soil. Well, there's a good chance you're gonna catch something from doing that. Maybe rabies, you know. And of course, rabies was one of the great, when scientists look back on werewolfery in, you know, history, and like why people assume someone was a werewolf. Well, because maybe they had rabies and they were howling at the moon. They were terrified of water, because rabies incorporates hydrophobia. You're afraid of water, and you can froth at the mouth and go sort of, well, rabid, you know, wild, and may attack people. So, you know, that's why. Oh, look at this. I do apologise for this. Look, I'm losing half the room's disappeared in this haze of white light. But yeah, I've always loved the Wolfman, and I'll say it again. You know, American Werewolf is fantastic, but I am not a fan of the four-legged werewolf, because to me, like American Werewolf, it's a hound from hell, hellhound. It's just a great big dog. And Rick Baker, of course, designed the look of the American Werewolf, the big Kessel Wolf, on his own dog, Bosco, who's the cutest fucking thing that's ever lived. You know, and slightly less hairy than Rick Baker was back in the day. And so it's savage, and I know it's got people's guts hanging out of its fangs and all that, like, but it's still not particularly. No, it is frightening, but I find the bipedal Wolfman is more frightening. If you've got a vestige of the human face in there as well, and it's subsumed with hair, and you know, you've got fangs, and you're drooling, and you know that, yeah, but you still recognise that there's a man in there somewhere. Ooh, because you can see people like that. Let's be honest. Well, I mean, look at me, for fuck's sake. But you know, you come out of a club, say in Liverpool, and go past an alleyway, and there's some vagrant there, lit by the full moon, or some waning street lamp, and it looms up the shadows, and he hasn't shaved for about 93 years. You know, and he's an old guy, so his ears have continued to grow. Your ears keep on growing, folks. Let you into that one. Your nostril hair grows as well, like your eyebrows grow. So he's looking feral and bestial, and you get that looming out. Yeah, very spare change. Take it all. So, but I think it's more frightening. So, the makeup for the Wolfman was, of course, the original makeup for Werewolf of London, with Henry Hull playing William Glendon, the renowned botanist. He went to Tibet and is now a werewolf. With Werner Oland, who's another werewolf who comes to find the Marifesa lupina, the flower that blooms in the moonlight, but can not cure them, but can stave off their transformations. Will Glendon gets to know about this, and he has to fight this other werewolf. But the makeup in that movie was originally the makeup you see in the Wolfman. Werewolf of London was 1935, so a good 6 years before the Wolfman. Jack P. Pierce designed the full face makeup, and Henry Hull, the actor Henry Hull, said like, no. You've got two schools of thought on this, and they're both correct to a degree. One is that, like, no, I'm an actor. I need to be seen. I don't want my face covered by this horrible yak hair. Fuck you. And that's partly true. I can imagine he said that. But Henry Hull also said the thing which is perhaps the most prevalent and the most justified argument. They're meant to recognise him, that he is the Wolfman, the Werewolf of London. They're meant to recognise him. Well, how are they going to recognise him? His face is fucking full of hair. So that's why it's very minimal. So, it's still good though. He's got a big jutting underbite with good fangs. Henry Hull is a bit of a really inoffensive looking, meek little sod. But when he becomes the werewolf, he's frightening. Big widow's peak on him. It's sort of like his ears are a bit more gnarly. He's got a bit of a boxer's broken nose, but it's that underbite with the fangs which make it work, and he's got Wolverine sideys, but that's it really. And he wears his hat as well. One more swig of that in a minute, and then we're done with that bottle. So Jack P. Pierce went, okay, well, we'll streamline the makeup for Werewolf of London, and then for Wolfman, right, now I'm going to go with this full-on yak hair. Lon, sit your ass down. And the two of them didn't get on brilliantly at all. That's Lon Chaney for you. Lon Chaney, baby. You know, and as I say, if he liked you, you'd get like a house on fire. If he didn't like you, you'd be flung around the set like a bag of bones, off, you know. And there's lots of like imagery of them like sort of jokingly at loggerheads, like, threatening each other. I think because you have to sit for 10 hours in the makeup chair, so I think you're going to get pissed off regardless about that. With whoever's doing it, no matter how pleasant and how full of stories they are, and how many drugs they can ply you with and drink they can ply you with to make you placid. But I think a lot of it's overblown. Like Hollywood always does this. You know, all your Hollywood icons, they're all bastards on the side, you know, apparently, you know. They're all alcoholics, drug fiends. They're all like, you know, they'll shag anything, basically. You know, hasn't even got to be alive. And they're also murderers too, you know. All these stories come out, you know, all your favourite Hollywood stars. Oh, they were right bastards in reality. Look at this. We've gone into like one of those vintage, those yellowing photos from the Victorian era. It's all gone like yellow, sort of opaque parchment. The entire video's become like that. ASTRADYNE, I apologise. That no longer looks green. There you go, it's great. And obviously, Company Wolves soundtrack on vinyl. You've now freed up the original vinyl to go on the wall. Brilliant. And I will play that vinyl album when I want to play Company Wolves with proper like turntable and like, I think needle comes up. And then you hear this. I'm going to play it again, actually. Oh, wow, where are we? Because I want you all to bear this in mind.
Little girls, it seems to say.
It applies to little boys as well.
Never stop upon your way. Never trust a stranger friend. No one knows how it will end. As you're pretty, so be wise. Wolves may lurk in every guise. Now, as then, 'tis simple truth. Sweetest tongue has sharpest tooth.
Perfect, isn't it? It's so apt, and it's still relevant. Sadly, it's still relevant. Great film, two great films, great themes, transformation, and Company of Wolves is about transformation as well, not just about men into like beasts, but also girl becoming woman, you know, that transformation. And funnily enough, that involves blood as well. Folks, I have been always shall be Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, it's ever increasingly lycanthropic in between time. Please keep it Kilted, keep it Celtic, and I'm going to see you all. I'm sorry about the enormity of the brightness that's took place here. It's what's happening. The sun's very low in the sky. It's literally, the sun is right there. It's right on, you know, our back wall, shining, blazing. Hello, I'm here. All this talk with 3-eye atlas, it's nothing. It's nothing I tell you. I'm the sun. I'm more important. Yeah. Maybe it's my prodigal son returning. And he's not a moon beast. He's a sun beast. Anyway, folks, I'm definitely out of here now. Ta-da.